1580.
Gotta stay fresh, my house shot with a rep spot.
Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
Bounce is back. You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you Monday through Friday, and if I'm not mistaken, it's Wednesday. We are halfway there, everybody. I hope you are having a fantastic Wednesday, a fantastic day. I know I am. It was pretty busy today, but you know what? I'm never mad at being busy. That means that you are, well, hopefully you're being productive while busy, but that has been the case for me, and I hope the same for you. Happy birthday, Lil Wayne. That was that's Lil Wayne and Bobby Valentino. Yeah, that's the jam. And someone else. Okay. We're only showing acknowledgement right now of Lil Wayne because I told you already, it is Libra season. We're only acknowledging those who are in the Libra season. Anyway, we have another great show. Oh my goodness, we do. We just have another great show on deck for you, and this is probably one of those kinds of conversations that you want to chime in on. And if you do want to give your opinion on this at any point in time, you can do that by calling 1-800-920-1580. I will be more than happy to take your phone call and listen to what you have to say, because I want to break it down. We will look forward to doing that with our contributor who is going to call in today. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit, not much of an update, but a little bit. We know that Kanye is reportedly working on a new album. Andy, you are a Kanye fan. Yes, Kanye music fan. Are you looking forward to his new album?
Absolutely.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
So his personality, things that he's done, all of his antics really don't throw you off of the genius. That's what I would call him, a musical genius. That doesn't throw you off at all.
Not at all. I know how to compartmentalize.
Okay, all right. Well said. We'll see what happens with his career. I believe Andy and people like Andy who are fans of Kanye and people who would deem him a musical genius, I believe that you guys are going to support him when he does come out with his album. We'll see what he's talking about, though. We will see what he's talking about. We just don't know. There's been a lot going on in his life over the past several years, actually. So maybe he's going to bottle all that up and give it to us in a project. We shall see. So I do have a question. I'm going to have a question of the day for you guys. And I will probably bring that forward on the other side. But I think we should go ahead and get into the Raw Report. Andy?
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Okay, so we talked about this woman before, and I feel anytime we talk about this woman, it's always controversial. It's always controversial. I really can't wait to talk about this. Eboni K. Williams. She is the very beautiful, intelligent woman we've heard from before. She's basically saying that women, young black women who are in college should pursue their MRS degree. They should pursue becoming a wife alongside pursuing their degree. She talks about the value of black men, single black men. She also talks about the value, whether they increase or if they depreciate. We'll break it down and give our perspectives all on the other side. Also, Usher, I know we talked about Usher recently when the news was dropped that he was going to be performing at the halftime show on the Super Bowl. I'm still super hyped about that. I'm very excited about it. But now we're finding out reportedly that he will have tasteful, quote, tasteful pole dancers at the Super Bowl. Have we seen worse, though? I mean, have we seen things that are just as bad? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Now, we can say Usher has performed with tasteful pole dancers in the past, but is the Super Bowl ready for it? I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out. We'll see when it does come. And we're gonna break that down again on the other side. The number, if you want to call in, is 1-800-920-1580. You could also join us over in YouTube. Hello to our YouTubers who are always holding it down, that community over there. You can definitely go in there. We welcome all of you. We welcome you with open arms. And if you want to go even a little bit further and you don't want to call in, there's a guy who's always calling in here. I don't know your name, sir. I don't know your name, but he always calls in and he never wants to get on air. But if you want to, you can leave a message. You can do an open mic message and let me hear, because I want to hear what you got to say. I know you're always talking to Andy, but I want to hear what you got to say. So use the open mic feature on our app, our KBLA 1580 app. Go ahead and do that. I'm always listening to the open mics. I personally always listen to the open mic. So I would love to hear what you have to say if you want to use that feature. By the way, if you have not already done it, please download the KBLA 15 app. It's just a good idea. You get everything right there. You don't have to go online. Everything is right there. Everything, the podcast, if you want to catch up on former shows, and if you want to listen to all the different hosts, if you want to listen live, who is talking right now, and the guests, and you can even get to YouTube through the app. I'm telling you, it's lit over there. So go ahead and download that KBLA 1580 app. Also, follow us on all of our social media platforms at KBLA 1580 as well. And you should be following me too at Robin Ayers. It is just a good idea. All right, we are going to go ahead and jump to it all on the other side. You are listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, BB, and you're listening to me on The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm MC Light. You know me as The Rapper. But guess what? I am the CEO of Sunny Girl Incorporated. We call it SGI. And SGI undoubtedly has a Cadillac, an Escalade to be exact. It's luxury at its finest. It's black, it's sleek, it's clean, and I can show up to any red carpet or any event and feel like I'm flossing. I love it. Cadillac.
Visit Cadillac.com for more.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Girl, I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are popularly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCES scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Rob Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm telling y'all, I can't tell you how much I appreciate laughing with y'all over in YouTube. It is very, it is fantastic. I love reading the comments and engaging with you guys. It is definitely a lot of fun for me. We are going to have a poll up in our YouTube in just a few minutes. But the question really is, and let me break it down for you before I want you to vote on it. But when you're talking to a significant other, if you are talking to a friend, if you are talking to whomever, it does not matter. When you are talking to anyone, does it matter if you say love you or I love you? Is there a difference between love you and I love you? It is such a great question, in my opinion. The poll is up. We want you guys to go ahead and vote inside here. But let's go ahead and get to the stories that we're going to break down today. We have got our contributor who we love having with us today. It's Wednesday, so you know that means it's TK Trinidad. Hello to you, TK. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I am also great. I'm fantastic. You know, it's Libra season, so I'm always smiling, basically, you know. I bet you don't care.
Hey.
You don't care about that? You're going to leave me out here by myself?
I mean, look, everybody could celebrate your day. You made it. You were the one.
Yes.
Out of all the swimmers back in the day, you made it. So celebrate as much as you want to celebrate.
I made it. TK, we did pass your birthday at some point. What was your birthday? I remember saying happy birthday and even posting a happy birthday message for you. What was your birthday and what's your sign?
Oh, I'm a Leo all day, through and through. If you know Leos, whether you hate us or love us, that's me. So sorry, but
you Leos, yeah. This makes sense, TK.
Me and Obama. Yeah.
You and Obama. Okay.
You just out here.
Forget all the other ones. It's you and Obama out here in these Leo streets. Yep. I ain't mad at you. I am definitely not mad at you at all. Before we get started, TK, you got to tell me, are you an I love you or a love you kind of girl? And does it matter what the difference is?
Well, it depends on who the person is. I don't know. I think I go between both. I mean, I don't say it to very many people, and if it's something that somebody's really done out of the kindness of their heart, you know, beyond the thank yous and all that other stuff, because the people who are close to me know that I don't like throw those words out just flippantly. If it's something that like, yo, you truly did one for me, I appreciate you, and then I'll like emphasis like, yeah, I love you. But it's more like, yo, we homies. Like, you know, my homegirl, she came visit me. We've known each other since high school. Like, it's like a quick love you. But it's also the understanding that, like, we don't say that because she's also a Leo. We don't say that to just any and everybody. So
okay.
It's just kind of
even saying love you is very deep from your perspective.
I don't think you should say. I know there's different meanings for the word, but I think in this day and age, we're just kind of putting the words love you or even, oh yeah, she's my friend. It's like, nah, she ain't your friend. So I think we're using a lot of words loosely so that it doesn't, it doesn't have an impact anymore. So for me, it's like certain words I really, hold dear. Like if I say, yo, this is a homie, it's like, nah, it's like, we good, like that type of thing. So same thing with I love you and stuff like that. I don't really, you can't have a whole lineup of people say, oh yeah, she said that too. Yeah, I'm not that person.
Okay. All right. I got you. For me, I'm with you. Deborah Chacoa, she says, love you is too casual. I am definitely not a love you kind of girl. I am an all out, I love you. But you know what? At the same time, I am a lover. I love people just in general. And so I might even use it a little bit too much, too flippantly. Like someone says, I love you, Robin, so much. And I'm like, oh, no, I love you too. But I mean that in the sense of it's a different kind of love, of course. But I love people. So, I don't know how much more to describe it than that for me. But I do think that love you is too casual, and I especially don't like love you. Ooh, oh my gosh, that'll just that make me itch right there. Love you is not cool. Andy, well, give me your thoughts.
I think there's some code switching elements to these phrases.
Okay.
So, like for example, like let's say you're with your husband, and I see you. Like for me to say I love you, Robin, that might be a little bit questionable. You know what I'm saying? But I might be like love you. You know what I'm saying? Love you too, homie. But if I say I love you, I don't know. It might cause some problems.
True. But, okay, man to man, though, Andy. Man to man. Your homie.
Love you. It's
got to stop right there.
It ain't no I love you. That's just a little bit too deep. It's a little bit too deep.
You're not having it. All right. No,
it might
I love
send the wrong message. So I'll be like, love you, homie. You already know what it is.
Love
you. Feel me?
Wrap it up. Dap it up.
Yeah.
Love you, boy. Love you, my guy. Okay. All right. Well, right now, you guys are saying that, there is a difference. I do want to know what you feel the differences are. Go ahead and throw them over in the chat. But let's go ahead and get started with our conversations.
One more thing.
Yes,
sorry.
Andy.
You know what? There is a difference, but the meaning is still the same, though.
Okay. The meaning is still the same, but how you say it changes depending upon who you say it to. Got it. All right. That's fair. So, TK, let's go ahead and talk about this Eboni K. Williams. Let's talk about this Eboni K. Williams. Well, she is saying something pretty controversial, whether you agree with it or don't. They are literally on two ends of the spectrum here. I'll tell you where I fall in line with what she said, but I want everybody to hear what she said pertaining to young Black college-aged women and what they should be pursuing right now while they're in college. Let's take a listen.
The reality that needs to be said out loud is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for Black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger Black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated Black men is so low when compared to Black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 Black women students for every 1 Black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young Black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of Black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And Our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half.
Oh, boy. Okay. TK, here we are, both on the line here. We are two black women who are sort of vastly different lifestyles, in that, I'm over here talking about my kids, getting them ready for college, and you out here living your best life. You be looking all beautiful and whatnot on your social media. I ain't got them kind of pictures. That's not where I be. All right. Okay, TK. So here we are living different lifestyles, but I have to ask you where you stand. Do you agree with this? You are, in so many ways, you can relate to Ebony K. Williams in that, you're educated, you're a beautiful young woman. But what do you think overall about the advice that she's giving to young black women? She's basically saying that as we get older, as young black women, as we get older, our value, our marriage and partnership value depreciates, as opposed to black men, single men who get older, that their value increases. Your thoughts on that?
Well, a couple of things. I actually was talking to a friend about this. It's kind of like there was a time, like when I went to college, it was very much like female empowerment. You can do everything, you can have everything. And it was, more about looking at self, meaning like go and get your degree, go and get this, go and get that. And men were the same way, and men are the same way. It's like, I don't want to get married until I get all of this. And I'm sure you could speak more to that as far as having a family. Like, you can't plan, like, these kids don't care about your feelings. They're not, you think they're part of the plan, and they throw a monkey wrench doing whatever they want to do, and because you love them. So it changes the trajectory. So no matter what, like waiting for the perfect time to, in particular have kids and stuff like that, that's like, just kind of looking at the overall totality of things, kids don't care. So like, you might as well, if you want kids, you might as well just go and have kids. As far as, definitely now that I look back, I would definitely put relationship and dating into one of my buckets as far as my trajectory. Because at the time, there was just like, everybody's like, concentrate on you, just do you, and he will come. And, being through like relationship courses and having friends who are actually relationship counselors and specialists and stuff like that, it's kind of like relationships are work. So if you don't put in the work, then how do you expect to get somebody that, is going to value and all this other stuff? And then also on a whole, as far as decreasing the value of women, it really just depends on what you want. So if you're a woman and you've always wanted a family and kids, like, let's be totally honest. At the end of the day, there's going to be a time where you can't have your own kids. So if a man is like looking at like a 5-year plan or whatever, or even yourself, and you're, in your 40s, then the chance of you having kids is a lot lower. And that's a whole nother set of problems. Now, does he want to deal with that? That's, now you can't have kids. So how does that affect the relationship? So, but I'm meeting a lot of men. I'm meaning, because I date older men, I'm meeting a lot of men who've already had their wife. They're now divorced. They have their kids. Their kids are badasses, and they don't want none of that. So, and I also know a lot of women who don't want kids at all. I think there's the percentage of women not wanting kids is higher than it was 10 years ago. Because that's what, like, I'm the only one in my friend group where I'm like, yeah, I need 5. Like, put 5 on it. Where everybody else is like, yeah, no, I'm good. So, meeting men who have already been there and done that, they want a woman who either doesn't want it, or they've kind of passed that and they're good and now they can travel and do all the things. So,
all right.
And it depends on too what part of the country you're in and where you are in the world.
True. That is true as well. I can tell you that I hate so much what she has to say. I really do. I really don't like it. She is coming from a strong perspective, and a lot of it is her own experience. She's saying, hey, listen to me. I am well educated. She's got her degrees. She is 40 years old, but she's successful, and maybe she's not finding the success in relationships that she's wanting. But she also says that if you wait, they come with their own consequences. If you, as a woman, if you wait too long, it'll come with its own consequences, not having been married, yet. But what she's failing to understand, and it's actually hard for women who are in that position, who are like her, like yourself. You're talking about your experience as well. You're saying, listen, I did focus on myself a lot. Like, you've taken care of all the things. You were checking things off of your bucket list. And now you look at things and you're like, okay, I wish I would have put in that, as one of the things on my bucket list. But this is the interesting part. It's hard to look at someone who did get married young and say, well, what are the consequences there? Now, for a lot of women, they may or may not have some. For myself, I've been in this game, in this marriage game for 18 years now, right? Now, that's just scratching the surface, I'll say. That's not like a lot of time, but that is a lot of time, I guess, in today's society.
What?
I'm just saying,
Scratching the surface?
Well, I know. Let me put some respect. Let me put some respect on my relationship. What I'm saying is, when you're talking to older, people who have gotten married, they've been married for 30, 40 years plus and all of that. So that's what I mean. I'm definitely not trying to demean, to 18 years. That's a lot of time. So I'm still in it and I don't have regrets. But what I can say is that I look back at the people who were sort of pressuring that part. And there is a part that you not lose, but you almost wish, like, okay, I wish I would have checked this off of my bucket list before getting married. And all these different kinds of things. And again, it's almost hard to see that once you are in someone like Eboni K. Williams' position. She's like, I'm here and I'm finding trouble with it. There is so much more to talk about in this particular topic. You guys are writing to me in the YouTube chat. I'm going to get to these comments. I want to get to this caller that we have that's on the line as well. We're not done with this, but right now we've got news, traffic, and sports. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on The Raw Report.
More of The Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. VP Kamala Harris was in Atlanta, Georgia, encouraging college kids to get out and vote.
There are people who are intentionally trying to make it more difficult for you to vote. There are others who are suggesting that your vote doesn't matter or it won't count.
Harris stopped by Morehouse College for a question and answer session Tuesday, where the focus remained on Georgia's voting laws, gun regulations, and reproductive rights. The crowd included hundreds of students from Morehouse and surrounding schools at the Atlanta University Center. The U.S. Supreme Court is once again rejecting an Alabama congressional map that features just one majority black district. It's the second time in 3 months Alabama Republicans have been handed a defeat by the Supreme Court over the state's congressional map. Alabama has 7 congressional districts with about 27% of eligible black voters. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
A stall in Long Beach only has 2 right lanes open currently with CHP on the scene of the 91 East before the 710. Right now, stop traffic from Main Street is up to about 50 minutes. Watch for heavy traffic flow back in Anaheim Hills on the 241 North before the 91 as an accident remains on the right shoulder and heavy traffic continues from Windy Ridge Toll Plaza up to about 15-20 minutes. In Lincoln Heights, an accident involving a hit and run is on the right shoulder of the 5 North after Pasadena Avenue, while heavy traffic flow continues from the 10. And in Irvine on the 5 North between San Canyon Avenue and Anaheim Boulevard, Disney Way interchange, expect a 30-minute traffic jam and backup.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
USC is a 21.5-point favorite over Colorado in their Pac-12 conference matchup Saturday morning. This is the 3rd time this season Colorado has been a 21-point underdog. They had the same odds in their season opener at Texas Christian and last week at Oregon. It looks like Portland Trailblazer star Damian Lillard is not getting his wish to go to the Miami Heat. Multiple sources say a 3-team trade has been finalized today that will send Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks. 8 players are involved in this deal that includes Portland, Milwaukee, and the Phoenix Suns. Lillard, a 7-time All-Star, told Portland after last season that he wanted to be traded to Miami. The first high school football game at SoFi Stadium will feature Downey and Warren. The Gateway League rivals will play each other Friday night, October 13th. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Gotta stay fresh, my house shot with a rest bar, shot with a rest bar, shot with a rest bar.
Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
The bounce is back.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation.
In August 2020, after the death of George Floyd, Bridget Floyd and other family members established the George Floyd Memorial Foundation in support of the Black community.
It's going to take more than just us as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to make a change.
Fight for racial justice for the Black community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look, and unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at the gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Okay, I want to let the song play, but we gotta move on because there's still so much to talk about. If you are just joining us right now, we are talking about Eboni K. Williams and her remarks regarding black college-age women who should be pursuing getting married alongside pursuing their degree. And we are on the phone with TK Trinidad, our contributor of the day. But before we move on, I actually want to get to JW from South Central LA, who's calling on the line. I gotta hear this point of view. JW, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I am also well, thank you.
Yeah, I really commend that young lady for being so honest, candid, and frank, and blunt and direct. She reminds me of the brother that passed away that I got familiar with
Kevin
at a later
Samuels?
time. Kevin Samuels. And I love how he gave statistics and facts and spoke from the numbers. And irrelevant of how people perceive how he, all the negative part, I disregard that. But I'm glad that she's speaking out and giving her point of view based on her personal experience, because young ladies need to hear this. Because I'm all about our black family being able to unite together so we can be able to live as a unit in the future, and we exist and won't just be, annihilated for various different reasons I won't go into. And that's just my point, you know.
Well, I respect that and definitely appreciate, you calling in and giving us your vantage point as well. And I'll have to say, thank you so much, JW. I have to say, Eboni K. Williams, it's not that I don't appreciate her perspective, because there is some validity to what she's saying. I'm just saying Eboni K. she has a very high standard. We know that. This is not a surprise. We know that just based on things that she said in the past. She has a very high standard. But I want to go ahead and get to this comment that Brother Alfonso, it's not Brotherhood, sorry, it's Brother Alfonso. Thank you for saying this inside the YouTube chat. Brother Alfonso says the potential marriage pool is not limited. God, come on now. Okay, speak on this, Brother Alfonso. The potential marriage pool is not limited to college-educated men, and there are other forms of education and making money, which is what this is all about. Okay, I'm gonna throw my pen, Brother Alfonso. That's a whole word right there. That's exactly the truth. She's making it out to be. Now, I do understand when you are in college, and let's just talk about the woman for a second. When black women are in college and you are thinking, gosh, like you want to pattern your whole life out. You want to plan it you're going to be successful. You're going to make money, have a career. You're also probably thinking that you want someone who's going to match that ambition, someone who's going to match that drive, be career driven and all of that good stuff. That is still possible without having to limit it to college men. There are all kinds of educated men. There are that could mean experienced. You could be worldly. You can have sophistication. You can be very experienced in something and put me up on game. I think what women look forward to when they're in a relationship is to be educated. You want to be educated by your man. You want to be inspired by your partner, I should say. You want to be inspired by them, and that could come in so many different forms, not just necessarily college age or college students. Yes, Andy?
I think the emphasis probably was on college simply because after college, you know what I'm saying, when you look at the numbers as far as, successful black men, there's not many. But at least in that college space, there might be just a little bit more because, there's a little bit of more equal playing field. So I guess you're just looking at it like that. The numbers aren't as much after college as opposed to while in college.
She's that's exactly her point. TK, I want to ask you though, when it comes to, let's take Eboni K as the quintessential example because we're talking about her. She's the one who made the statement. If we're lining her up, can't we say, Eboni, there is still a plethora of men out there for you. You don't necessarily want to come down off of the high horse. You don't want to come down and start looking at reality, which is in reality these days, you might come across a successful man who had, like you mentioned before, TK, maybe has already been married, maybe has already had children. And so he's not looking for that from you. That is a big possibility because there's a large amount of that group out there of men who exist who are like, nah, I've already done it. So I'm not necessarily trying to look from you. So couldn't she just, you know what I'm saying, be a little bit more realistic, or am I just trying to make people's standards come down unfairly?
Yeah. No, I think at the end of the day, it's one of those things where I have learned that even though you're the best intentions you might have for people, they have to see it. And it's not my job to convince you like what you should do with your life. So it's one of those things that if she is not happy, like, you know, looking at everything and she's 40 and maybe she wants the kids and she wants all this other stuff and she's not happy, then something has to change. And if she feels like nothing has to change, then, and you continue being unhappy, then that's on her. She might be happy. I don't know. For
TK,
me, it's just one of those.
You are one of the most politically correct people that I know. You be so politically correct. Now, I know Eboni K is not sitting here. I'm not telling this woman you need to go ahead and dial it down on your standards. I'm just saying for the sake of conversation, right? I mean, isn't it? Yeah, she is going to do at the end of the day what she wants to do. And you're right. She could be happy. Now, is she? I don't know. I don't know this woman. I don't know. I know that she portrays to be still in search of something to fill a void. That's how she comes off. That's how she presents to the world. And this is by way of what she says. This is what she presents to us. So because you present it to us in public, then we are given... Right? We're given a topic, we're given a point of view, and then we're going to weigh in on it. And we're not only going to weigh in on it according to Eboni K. Williams, but we're going to take it to a bird's eye view and see how this applies to society. So I'm just saying you are absolutely right in that you're saying listen, let that woman live if she's happy. Yeah, but I'm just saying for the greater conversation.
No, I definitely agree with you, but I'm saying that at the end of the day, like, the goal is to be happy. And be happy and be satisfied with your life. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, if you're not happy, then there's nobody to look at other than you. So if you and for example, yeah, like I would love a relationship. I would love all these things, and I'm actively doing things to put myself in those positions. There's no way I can say I want a relationship and I want a family, I want all this other stuff, and then stay in my house and then at the same time say men are dogs. Mm-hmm. Like it's not conducive to what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. So do I agree with what she's trying, what it seems like she's doing? Absolutely not. Because if you want to be happy and the range of men that you've been dating, or if men are not approaching you, then it might be something that you're doing. Because there's there's still men out there who there's a guy who approached me today. Like, there's still men out there that will approach you and, you know, want to get to know you and all this other things. But if you're presenting to the world that you're either better than them or you know more or all these other things, then men don't want to, out the gate, men don't want to deal with that. Like,
here's where I have the issue. This is where I have the issue. And I want to be clear. Eboni K is only... I'm doing what Eboni K is doing. We talk to the world. We talk to the people. We use our microphone. We use our platform to talk to people, right? Now, she stepped out of talking to people and she began advising people. That's when we're going to jump in, because you are advising people. So what I'm saying is, again, it's not that you don't have some validity there, but for you to advise an entire group of people, a large group, by the way, we're talking about young, Black, college-aged women, because you're saying that the standards, your market value, your partnership, your marriage value goes down. It depreciates because the older that you get, while Black men, they increase in value. And Andy makes a good point. I got to say this, because that's coming from you're looking at the biological. You're saying that the clock. She's speaking from a standpoint of saying, listen, you're not always going to be able to have children. But the thing that I push back on with that is, and I get it, that's a fact. That's the absolute truth. But the thing that I push back on is, again, now, it's different if that's your perspective, what you want to do. But if you are saying a man looking at me and he depreciates my value because I can't have children, to me, that's sort of I don't agree with that statement.
I don't know. Well, her wording is kind of harsh, but hypothetically, right? Say you meet somebody and you're a man and you're like, I got everything I want. I want a wife and kids. And if you're in your first couple of dates like you realize that either a biological clock and or she can't have kids, and this is something you really want, it's not necessarily depreciating the person. It's like, this is what I want. It's just kind of like if you're a Christian or you're whatever, and this is really important to you, and then the guy that asked you on a date, he's an atheist, like, is that something that you're willing to negotiate on? Or it's all choices.
Let me ask you this question, and Andy, I'd love to have this as a poll question, please. You guys, just bear with me here. We only have a few minutes left, but I definitely want to continue this conversation. Is it me? Am I tripping by saying the conversation seemed to be that if you're a black male, the older you get and you have not married and that you don't have kids, that actually sends more red flags than green? She's saying that appreciated, that men, their value is appreciating the older that they get if they're not married and have kids. I say it seems that the conversation amongst black women is that, something must be wrong with that brother. Something is wrong if he hasn't locked somebody down, or someone hasn't locked him down, or he doesn't have kids. Red flags all day long.
Yeah. I mean, oh gosh. Yeah, yes. I feel like if I meet a man who is 40 plus and he hasn't been married, that's not as much of a, red flag, because a lot of people aren't getting married. But if he says that he wants kids and he hasn't had kids, and now you're getting into wedlock and all this other stuff, I kind of look at him a little bit like, all right, what's wrong? And now I have to I have to take the immaturity part out of it and take him for what he presents to me, because it could be the same thing. He can look at me like, okay, you're educated, you're this, you're that, you have all this other stuff, but so what's wrong with you? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I also try to, because I know the roles could be reversed and somebody could look at me the same way, so that I give that person a chance. Now, the people I have given a chance who are over 30 and never had kids and never been married, they've been a little weird. So, still going to give people chances, but thus far, it's a little suspect.
Okay, Andy?
I was going to say to the 25-year-old woman who's still looking to have children, that 50-year-old man is still valuable.
The 50-year-old man who has not had children?
Because he can still provide something for her, which is a child.
Uh-huh.
And I think, once again, that's the emphasis. The value is on children, on being able to conceive, having the ability to do so. That's where it's all coming from.
Okay, so that's Andy's perspective. Listen, I can't let you go right now, TK. We got to bring this conversation forward. So listen, on the other side, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Maisha Cairo here for KBLA Talk 1580. We're live in Los Angeles at JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. And I'm speaking to some of the attendees today to see why it was so important for them to be here.
Yeah, this is Lathan and Tyler. Main reason that's very important for me to be here is just to leave a legacy for my kids. Black wealth, generational wealth is what we need in our community, Oh, Chase, someone has to take the lead. They're showing, big business like Chase cares, and, they're putting their money where their mouth is at, So it's good to see, big institution like Chase, giving a lifting hand, to the community. And, you got to respect that. It makes me want to bank with Chase and, give them, another look if I go to another institution. I actually see what Chase is doing for the community.
That's right. Chase is doing their part to help advance Black wealth. For more money support, tune in every day from 12 to 2 to KBLA Talk 1580's Midday Money Chain, right here.
Applications are now being accepted for the City of Los Angeles Emergency Renters Assistance Program. The program provides up to 6 months of rental arrears to low-income residential renters who are at risk of homelessness due to unpaid rent as a result of COVID-19 or other financial hardship. Applications will not be accepted after 6 p.m. on October 2nd, 2023. Go online 24/7 at housing.lacity.org or call 888-379-3150 from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and see if you qualify. Apply today.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
if these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Y'all, we couldn't even, we have to finish out this conversation. We have on the line with us TK Trinidad. We are talking Eboni K. Williams and the statement that she made that she believes young black college-aged women should pursue. That's a strong word. We didn't even focus on that, TK. She said pursue their MRS, meaning become a wife alongside getting a degree. How do you take that? Because we in this day and age, I know it's kind of shaky grounds, and people, I saw a video today where a young woman, she was with her boyfriend for 7 years, and she got down on one knee and proposed to him, and he accepted. So I guess there are all kinds of different, I know, you can have all kinds of things happen, different norms these days. So maybe the emphasis shouldn't be on pursue, but I am trying to take a look at that. The question is, should single black women pursue marriage, or should you live your life and let love, let wifehood and love find you? That's the question that I have for you, TK.
I think it also comes to how you grew up. Meaning that, like, if you're in college and you still haven't, it's always a process, right? Like, you're not going to know who you are. You're not going to finally discover. We're always learning. We're always growing. But there's some people in college that you meet, you're like, yeah, no, there's no way that you should get married because this is very destructive. So I don't know if pursue marriage would be the thing, but definitely pursue healthy relationships. So I don't agree with her as far as, yeah, your end all be all goal should be to get married, because that can end disastrous too. Meaning that your goal is to get married, and you're going to ignore some of those flags, or you're going to ignore some of the things that are not healthy in order to reach that goal, and that's not a good thing either. So it just kind of listening to how she was talking, it really is. Yes, she's talking from her own personal experience, but it doesn't seem like she's happy. And now it's like, okay, well, because I'm not happy, everybody else has to do that. And her experiences compared to my experiences, compared to your experiences, are two different things. So if you're not if you're not mentally, capable within yourself to love somebody, love yourself first and love somebody, then like you shouldn't be getting married out of college, or until you can do that, like have actually healthy relationships. Because nobody intends to get married and be married for 2 years. Like, I commend you for being married for 18 years. And I'm guessing, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's work.
Yeah,
you're not like, oh, we're married for 18 years, and so you have to put in that work. But the love has to be there to the point that no matter what happens, like, though, I got you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And now you're in this together.
You're right. Let me get to this comment. We only have a few minutes left. Mackie Samuels, I do want to address this comment that says romantic relationships between people of different social classes and educational levels are difficult. The Power of the Past, Understanding Cross-Class Marriages by Jesse Stripe. Okay, that's a fair point. But are you saying that in terms of what I brought up before, education, you can have different types of educated men? I believe that to be the case. I believe that women are looking definitely for certain things, especially in today's society. I just think that what we look for now are completely different values than what we used to look for back then. We used to look for the man who was a provider and hopefully educated and all that, but certainly just as a provider. And now, there are all kinds of things. There are all kinds of ways we can view men who are high class, men who are highly educated. And speaking to that, Mackie Samuel says only high income or high status men increase their marriage market value as they get older. That's not the case for average income men. So is that the answer? Is the answer high income earners, high status men? Okay, I see it. So you're saying, according to Mackie Samuels, that they increase in value, and that anyone who is an average income man depreciates, or just this is an ongoing conversation. We just don't. Well, we don't have time to break it down, TK. Unfortunately. We don't have time. My goodness, that is such a great conversation. Maybe Zoe Williams will get into it, but not actually in real life. Zoe Williams has got another fire show coming up for you guys, and you definitely don't want to go anywhere because he is coming with some heat, as he always does. And it is, I want a relationship like my grandparents had. They were together 50 years. He's talking about the same thing. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. Y'all cannot turn the channel because he's about to get right back into it. TK Trinidad, we appreciate you so much, as always, for joining the Raw Report today. Let everybody know where they can find you online. Okay, well, TK Trinidad is where you can find her online. We appreciate you guys, all the engagement inside of our YouTube. Thank you so much for the caller as well. We appreciate you guys. You never know if we're going to pick up this topic again tomorrow. It happens that way sometimes, you guys. Great show. I appreciate all of you. My name is Robin Ayers, your host. And remember, today and every day forward, to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Senate Minority Leader says the Senate will try reaching a bipartisan agreement to avoid a government shutdown.
For those of us who are concerned about the Border Patrol and the ICE agencies have to continue to work for nothing.
Speaking to reporters, Mitch McConnell emphasized that concerns about the border can't